Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Transformers Studio Series number 71, Deluxe Class Autobot Dino from Transformers Dark of the Moon. I have to be 100% honest, I do not remember this character at all. I really don't. I don't think he was in the movie a ton, but again, it's been forever since I've seen Dark of the Moon, so maybe he was in it more than I remember. I really don't remember this guy at all. But packaging pretty standard for the Studio Series. You have a nice artwork of Dino here on the front. A little bit closer up image here on the side. Number 71, I really like the black and blue color scheme. And then again, you have that kind of same artwork over here on this side. And on the back, of course, we have the robot mode and the vehicle mode. So like I said, pretty standard packaging for Studio Series. Got the Autobot symbol there on the side. I'm going to go ahead, get him out of the box, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is in the little diorama piece that all the Studio Series figures come with. It's kind of a mid-battle street scene. You can see they must be on top of a highway or something. One of the street signs is kind of exploding. So kind of generic, but not a bad little diorama piece. And he looks good. He kind of barely fits because his backpack and his wings are a little massive, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But he can still fit him in there pretty well. So here is Dino out of the packaging, and he looks pretty good. It's got a bit of a backpack here. You can see a lot of the car parts. Basically the hood of the car, the roof of the car, kind of the back of the car as well. All kind of accordion down into this backpack here. And then he's got these big wings on the back with the car doors. So not the best. You can move these around a little bit. There's a little bit of movement there. Kind of find what angle you like. Head sculpt is kind of generic. He almost kind of looks like a Decepticon. I think, it's hard to see, but these red pieces here kind of look like the eyes, but I think they're supposed to be eyebrows. There are tiny bluer eyes underneath. I think that's what's going on there. It's a very tiny head sculpt, so it's kind of hard to see. But overall, his design, he kind of reminds me of Bumblebee, honestly. He's not crazy dissimilar from Bumblebee. He's got these pieces here, which are kind of neat, but they really make it hard to get in here and get the head to move. The ball joint was a little stiff at first, but I've loosened it up a little bit. So you have a ball joint there for the head. You can tilt it forward and back, a little bit of side to side, but it's kind of a limited ball joint just because it has these big pieces on the side here. I did mention you can move the wings a little bit, and they also have a hinge there. You have a ball joint at the actual shoulder. Now you can move this piece up and down a little bit where the shoulder is connected like into the actual chest, but then there's an actual ball joint here at the shoulder. You do have a bicep swivel here, but you can't really bend it this way, and I'll see if I can show you. There's kind of a little lip here, and then there's a red piece right in there, so when you try to turn it, it hits, which is kind of a bummer. You can see I accidentally pushed it past, and you can see how it kind of scraped up the plastic there a little bit. It's not a big deal, but yeah, so you really can't bend it that way, which is weird, but you can bend it the other way. And then you have kind of a double jointed elbow. Now this is really mostly for the transformation, but you know, it does work in robot mode as well. And then you have a wrist swivel here, so you can move that around. Nothing in the waist, but you do have a ball joint in the hip. You do have a thigh swivel right above the knee, and then you get 90 degrees in the knee. Nothing really in the ankle, though. This just kind of bends for the transformation. There's no tilt. There's no ball joint or anything like that. So he's got pretty big feet, so he doesn't have too much trouble standing. You just have to, you know, shift the weight around and get a pose that works. But yeah, he's okay. Like I said, I really don't remember the character all that much, so it's not like I have a huge affinity for him. But he's an okay little robot. Kind of just reminds me of Bumblebee. I almost feel like this could have been like movie Cliff Jumper or something like that, because he's that similar to Bumblebee in my opinion, as far as, you know, his look and aesthetic and the wing. They all have those kind of door wings on the back. He does come with these two little pieces here. These little bladed weapons. You can have them hold it if you want, but they're really meant to go under the forearm like this, so you could store it like that, or you could have it swivel around if you want him to use it as a weapon. That's up to you. So he does come with two of those, one for each forearm, and you can just put them on there. There is a nice place for them to store in the vehicle mode. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's get into his transformation. So the first time you get into the transformation, I have to admit it seemed kind of daunting, but it's really not that bad once you do it a few times. It's really just about kind of opening up and folding everything out. So basically we're going to flip these little panels here on the door and just kind of fill out the full door there. And if you wanted to, you could leave them out the whole time. They just kind of have that fold in just to make it look a little different. But basically, you're going to start by unpegging this piece on the back, and you can see where those two tabs were pegged in there. So you're going to kind of bring that down, and then this is all going to kind of pop open. So this pegged in, these two pegs right there were pegged in right there, and then you can kind of fold all this out, move the arms around as you need to get all of this to pop around. Right here, there's a swivel. So again, you just kind of have to position the arms so that you can swivel that around. Then this is going to pop up. You're going to straighten all this out like this. This will actually de-accordion, if that's a word. It's probably not, I just made it up. You're going to fold all that out. You're going to come down here to the arms, swivel these around. You're going to do the bicep swivel where you turn this 90 degrees to the right. You want the hinge facing inward, but actually you can't do 90 degrees to the left, or to the right rather, because, well, there's that little ledges in there like I showed earlier. So you're going to want to do it like this, and then you kind of pop them in like that. And then this is going to come up and fold in here and form the front of the car. So this is going to pop in like so. And then there is a little spot right here, but on the other side where there's a peg on the back of the forearm that's going to peg in there. Now you can see that there are two spots right here. I'm going to do this before we peg in the arms just because I think it's easier this way. But you're going to peg in the two blades into those spots right there for storage in the vehicle mode, which is nice. They're kind of really integrated into the car. So then once I bring this in and I peg this in, there we go. Going to do the same thing. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Bring this around. Bring this in. Fold or swivel the arm. And then pop that in like that. Bring this in. Clip it all together. And then we're going to bring the arm down and peg that in, assuming it will actually cooperate. Now the problem is, because those blades are there, they do kind of get in the way. You want to rotate the hands like so. And they will kind of peg together. They have little tabs so you can peg those together just like that. So you can see we pretty much have the whole front of the car at this point. We're going to come down here. This is going to come back in. Now you kind of have to feed this past, oh I'm sorry, I forgot to fold the head in like so. Then you're going to bring this in, and this needs to go under the fists, and then this will kind of clip against, and then that's stores in there. So we have that done. Let me zoom out here. These panels here on the thigh, you can actually pull them away from the body a little bit. So you're going to want to do that. They're a little difficult, but you can do it if you just give them a good yank. Then you're going to rotate the leg around 180 degrees and fold the foot in against the shin. Then you're going to just bring this up, and this kind of all just fits in here like so. So I have to pull this piece out. This is going to flip down, then it's going to flip around 180 degrees, and then it's going to come down. And then you can push these in, there are little tab slots. So if I lift this up and I zoom in here, you can see that there's a little tab slot right there for the tab here. So you're going to push this in, and then you can push these back against the body so that that all tabs in like so. And then this is actually pretty cool. So once you have the legs up here, there are very tiny little pegs here on the foot, which will peg into this little peg hole in the door, just for some added stability. So that pegs in there. And then there's also a little tab here that's going to catch. So like this. And you can see there's actually a clear tab here on the door. So you kind of just have to do some panel lining up and then make sure that's pegged in. So again, peg that in and make sure this all fits. There we go. And then we're good. We have our completed car mode. I like it a lot. I actually really like the design of the car. I'm not sure exactly what kind of car it's supposed to be. It probably says on the back here. No, for once it does not. Usually they'll tell you if it's like a brand of car, what it is. It kind of reminds me of a Lambo, but I don't think it is a Lambo. But still pretty cool. I really like the design, and like I said, he feels really solid. Like once you get those panels clicked in, he actually is a pretty solid little vehicle mode. with the exception of this little bit right here, not kind of wanting to go all the way in, but I can overlook that. It actually rolls really nice, which is cool. So yeah, it's not too difficult of a transformation. It just seems kind of daunting at first because there's so many parts, you know, expanding out and rotating around and swiveling around and clicking into place. But once you do it once or twice, it's really not too bad. It's a pretty cool little vehicle mode. I like it a lot. So Dino's not bad. He's kind of a cool little robot. I really like the vehicle mode. I think I like it more than the robot mode. But the robot mode's not terrible. It's just kind of hard to get him in a dynamic pose that doesn't just make him look like he's squatting. He just seems very squat. I don't really know what to do about that. Even if I try to like put the legs back and have him stand straight up, it's just that he's got kind of, you know, skinny chicken legs with a real bulky midsection. Oop, I forgot to peg this back up. There we go. And peg that back in. There we go. But I don't know. It's just he's got kind of a squat look. I feel like no matter what I do with him. These little bladed weapons on the back are okay. They have this tab on the side, and I don't know what that's for. I don't really know where that's supposed to go. They can't like peg onto the side of his hands or anything, which almost kind of makes me think that they're reused pieces from some other toy that they've done previously, which is very possible knowing Hasbro. So I don't know. I don't know if those tabs serve a purpose. I was looking if he has maybe some kind of storage on the side of his leg or something, but I really can't find anything, so not really sure what those are for. But they do peg into the bottom of the forearm perfectly well. They look cool, you know, displayed like this, or if you want to swivel them around to have them kind of be weapons or something like that, but or you can just knock them off completely, you know, whatever you prefer. But yeah, he's okay. I kind of feel like he's cobbled together because they're really kind of running out of ideas with the studio series. They've kind of milked the Bayverse to death. I don't really know what else they're going to be doing, but I'm sure they'll find something. I kind of enjoy them just pivoting to the 86 movie because of those molds have all really, really been good. But, you know, this guy's kind of the last dregs of the Bayverse. You know, not to say that he's bad, but they're just kind of milking everything that they can possibly think of. But he's okay. He's a kind of little red Bumblebee-esque type figure. At least as far as I'm concerned, his design is kind of similar. And, you know, he's got a pretty cool alt mode. So if you want to just transform him, leave him in car mode for display, it's not too bad. I mean, honestly, he does have a backpack, but it condenses pretty tight. It's not like it's got pieces flopping around or anything like that. You have the doors on the back for wings, which we're pretty accustomed to. So he's okay. I mean, if you pick him up, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But, like, do you need him? Not, in my opinion, you could probably pass. It's really just going to be up to you. He's not so dynamic of a character that, like, oh, I can't wait to, you know, pick up Dino, but he's all right, you know. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just kind of blah. I guess that's a good way to put it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.